Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Rourke at ABeep here. Today we are going to be going over some of the icons that may pop up from time to time on your Kenwood NX-220 or 320 radio. These icons, or similar ones, are frequently used by Kenwood and other radio manufacturers, so even if you're not using an NX-220 or 320, this video may still be helpful to you. This is the display on the Kenwood NX-220 and 320. In this display, all the icons that could potentially show up are showing. Very rarely will this actually be the case with your radio, except right after you turn it on. This icon is the signal strength indicator. It is very similar to the bars on your cell phone. It is a rough indication of the current quality of your coverage to our network. This is the monitor/squelch off active icon. It is used to signify that you will hear all conversation on the frequency. This is not relevant to ABeep customers using our Diga-Talk network because they all receive their own private frequencies. But for people using these radios who are not on our network, it is possible for separate groups of people using different privacy codes to talk on the same frequency and not hear each other. If monitor is active, then you will hear all the other conversations on the channel, not only the ones relevant to your group. The optional signal match icon will blink when you are being contacted by someone else using a special code related to your radio. This function essentially acts as a pager. The icon blinks when you receive a page, and a tone or beeping noise will go off at the same time. Talkaround is mostly for customers who are not using a large professional network like the Diga-Talk network provided by ABeep. What this icon means when illuminated is that the radios are talking directly to one another without the aid of repeaters. This also means that the functional range of the radio will be drastically reduced to a range of a few miles, instead of covering the entire coverage area of our Diga-Talk network, which spans multiple states. Normally, ABeep's customers' radios will be connected to our network and will send and receive signals from one of our repeaters. Scan is a feature that allows your radio to check multiple channels at once. The radio will skip briefly between multiple channels that it has been programmed to check. It will continue this rapid switching until it lands on a channel where someone is transmitting. This feature can be extremely useful for a boss or administrator especially, because it will allow them to monitor all of the channels at once. For example, the owner of a trucking company could set his radio to scan, thereby enabling him to hear the conversations of his truckers as well as those of his office and warehouse workers. The message icon means that there is currently at least one message stored in the memory of the radio. This icon will blink at a steady rate when you have a new message. This icon means that the channel you are on is a priority channel. When scanning, the radio will defer to this channel, and if it catches someone transmitting on it, it will switch to this channel. This is useful for making sure everyone hears an important message. For instance, police departments frequently set their priority channel to the one that dispatch makes announcements on. This means that even if two officers are having a conversation on another channel, when dispatch makes an announcement, their radios will switch to that channel so they never miss any emergency information. This icon means that the channel is using low transmit power. This option will save battery life because transmitting is a large strain on the battery, and transmitting on low power will use less juice and thus help the charge last longer. The trade-off to using low power for transmit is that you get less range. This means less range in reception even if you are using a repeater, because the radio still has to transmit the distance to that repeater. This icon means that the scrambler or encryption is active. This feature is not something that Diga-Talk customers need to use because all of their communications are already private and digitally protected. But if you're not using our network, scrambling will encode the audio so that if someone is trying to listen in on your communications who doesn't have your encryption code, they will hear undecipherable audio. This works similarly to the way that premium cable stations used to be locked onto that channel, but you wouldn't really be able to watch anything. Except this is scrambling the audio, not the video. Bear with me now, we're almost at the end, and this icon is sort of a layup. It's your battery icon, and it functions very similarly to the one on your cell phone. The battery icon will either show full, partially full, or empty, depending on how much battery you have left. This concludes our overview of the icons on the display of the Kenwood NX-220 and 320. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact us for any and all of your radio needs. Contact information provided in the description below.